Now you know.
Were you aware that he was married to Nia Long and got buku kids?
I googled that. I did.
Because the first
the
thing you do is
very,
say, who is his wife? Like, that's just kind of what you do.
Well, no, it was just like you Google his name, and it's like the new Celtics coach is engaged to Nia Long. And then I did the backstory, and I was like, oh, they've been together way longer than someone who's just engaged.
Yeah, they
Like,
got a
they're
whole
like
family
together.
out here. Yeah.
Yeah, they got a long-term relationship and kids and stuff. So, yeah, for sure.
Well, I got to ask you about your other thing that you do, which is preps.
Oh yeah,
You're not
about that.
the Celtics correspondence stuff is fine. Dallin Hayden, CBHS phenom.
Going to
His
Ohio State.
18th birthday, decided that he's going to go to Ohio State. He was not going to go to Tennessee, where his pops went. He's going to go to Ohio State. Notre Dame in the mix, Oregon in the mix, but Ohio State gets Dallin Hayden. What did you make of the decision, and what are they getting in Dallin Hayden?
They're getting, one of the best running backs I've ever seen for sure. I mean, they're getting a kid who won Mr. Football as a junior, rushed for over 2,000 yards, very balanced back, has great speed, but also he's 5'11", 195, and getting bigger. So he runs, with violence, man. Like, he runs people over. I mean, he's not afraid of the contact at all. Downhill runner. Good agility, can make people miss. I mean, definitely a very balanced back who I'm looking to dominate the high school ranks this season. I thought it was an interesting choice. Obviously, you have the chance to win if you go to Ohio State. Obviously Ohio State's going to bring in some other great backs, so they'll have stiff competition for playing time, especially in the first couple of years, but good choice. And, as far as Tennessee goes, man, there's just a lot of uncertainty with Tennessee these days. You've got the looming.
You mentioned the uncertainty too, and the idea that the Salter kid was dismissed from the team after another. This time he was arrested.
Right.
For marijuana possession. He had already
never played a snap.
Yeah, he had already been suspended for spring practice because of an issue that happened at a dorm, and so Josh Heupel just decided to get rid of him. He was not a Heupel guy; he was a Pruitt guy. But there's now four-star recruits from Pruitt's class that have all either been dismissed or transferred, and it does seem as though, things are not. I would not say it's been a particularly smooth start for Josh Heupel at Tennessee.
Yeah, but that hasn't been any of his fault though. Like the stuff that happened, the dorm stuff. That stuff happened under Pruitt,
mm-hmm.
and it's kind of like.
I'm not saying it's his fault, but I'm just saying he's got to deal with a lot of stuff. He's got a lot of fires he's got to put out, in addition to some legitimate questions about how good of a coach he really is going to be in this circumstance.
Exactly, and don't forget the NCAA is going to come after them for that.
I'm loving it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they're going to be loving that situation.
Great combo meal.
It's an unhappy meal coming for Tennessee.
Very, very, very unhappy meal too. Kari, I'm also curious because you, having talked to these guys now and knowing we mentioned. Coming July 1st, 7 states will have name, image, and likeness legislation that will come into effect for college athletes, and that obviously affects prospective college athletes too. There are some competitive advantages potentially for some of those schools that might be in the mix, and I don't even know how it works if a kid, like if Dallin Hayden, for example, like if some Christian Brothers alum wants to have him endorse his car dealership or whatever. In Memphis, can he do that? Is that legal to do that? Or is that something that we would have to, would that be under the Ohio rules? Or would that be under the Tennessee rules? There's a million different questions, all that. I don't know. But my bigger concern though is having now talked to enough of these recruits and seeing, do you think how much of that really will affect the decisions of a lot of these guys? Particularly kids that are, 3 star guys that aren't necessarily going to be, I wouldn't imagine getting tons of endorsement deals out there with their name, image, and likeness. Has it had any kind of impact on recruiting?
Not that I can see, but then again, I mean, the law is just getting rolled out, and it's not in every state. So, when you're going with this kind of piecemeal approach to applying the law, like, it's just hard to judge, man, because it's like you said, like, there's all types of questions about, what applies where. And so, I haven't had any recruits mention name, image, and likeness as something that swayed their decision yet. But I imagine it will play a major part for the kids who are like 4 and 5 stars. I mean, if you're like, let's be realistic. The 2 and 3 stars, like, it's like the 80-20 rule, man. Like, 20% of the kids are going to probably drive 80% of the income and these endorsements and things like that. Like, it's only going to be a few kids actually getting money, or at least significant portions of it. But like, I think it would definitely have more of an impact on like a Kennedy Chandler than it would on a 3-star. Who Kennedy just made Team USA today for the U19, so he's about to head out to Latvia. But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Going back to go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go.
I was saying, what do you guys think?
You go, Sam.
I wasn't paying attention to what you was talking about, fam. I was waiting to get my question in.
As we've always said, some people are listening and some people are just waiting to talk.
Yeah, just waiting to talk to them.
That's our guy right there.
What you guys saying?
With the Boston thing, we talked about this last week. All jokes aside, we know that Boston's not rebuilding, and they're more than likely about to run this thing back and try to optimize their roster as much as they can, especially when you make a move for someone like when you're trading Kemba Walker away. You think that they're trying to get better, you know what I mean? So hiring a coach that's a rookie coach, even though he's had plenty of years as an assistant coach or whatever, as a fan, as someone who's close to the team, do you think that's a move that lines up with what their current direction is, hiring a coach that's never been a head coach before?
Yes, because they have a young team and the guys like them, and that's what you want. It's better to have a young coach that guys like, that your team likes, than have an old established coach who your team doesn't like or who doesn't have a strong track record of success.
I can see that. I can see that.
See
I don't
the
agree,
vision?
but I don't agree particularly, but it just seems like an odd move to me. But I got you though. I get what you're saying.
So you think they should bring in some old veteran? You think they should have went for Rick Carlisle or somebody like that?
If you're trying to win now, he's gonna have growing pains. You're gonna lose. Just like with the Grizzlies, we lose games because Taylor Jenkins is learning on the job sometimes. So that whole thing kind of, it'll be interesting to see how that works. And sometimes you get a guy who comes in and chemistry matters. Like a Ty Lue or someone. That's somebody who, he was new to the game and, won a championship. Steve Kerr, new to the game, won a championship. So it could go either way.
Steve Kerr, I mean, the roster. I mean,
that roster is just so, impeccable roster.
Is key. I mean, dude, if you have enough talent, which I'm not saying the Celtics have enough talent to win, but they're trying to get to that point. If you have enough talent, being a coach is about management. You're managing. You know what I mean? You're managing what you got. And so maybe it's just me. I think coaching is overrated. I really, really do. I think it's just so much more about the players and who you have on your team.
Oh, for sure. In the NBA, definitely.
Are we talking just NBA or are we talking just in general, all the way around? Football too, or what do you think?
I mean, at the professional level, I can say I think you can definitely say all around. I'd say in college as well. I'd say maybe in high school, coaching matters more. But nah, man. Once you get to that college pro level, I don't care who you are. If you don't have the players, you're not going to be a successful coach.
See, I think it's. I agree with you, but in a different sort of way. I do think I've said it lots of times. I think that coaching is coaches are kind of interchangeable to some degree, unless you're talking about an extremely good coach. There are a few just super elite coaches out there that are phenomenal. But for the most part, every other coach is pretty much like, you can win in certain situations or you can lose in certain situations depending on, who's on your team. But I think the bigger thing for coaches is interpersonal relationships and dealing with players, at the college level increasingly, but definitely at the pro level, treating them like grown-ups. These are all grown men in the professional realm. They all, have their own stuff going on. Many of them have families, kids, all that stuff. Like you're going to work, like it's an office, it's a workplace. So you have, like a lot of, good bosses in a workplace, if you can develop chemistry and put people in a position to do their best individual work, that's what it's all about to me. It's not, coaching is fine. You draw up some plays every now and then and all that stuff. But, for the most part today in basketball, it's a lot of, you're setting up a system and letting the players kind of work within that system. That's what coaching is to me. It's not about, like getting out there and screaming and yelling at guys and throwing things and because that's just not going to work. It doesn't work. The guys aren't going to listen to that. And you wouldn't have like your boss at your job, whoever's listening out here, you guys most of you have a boss, and if your boss comes and screams and rants and raves and all that stuff, that gets old. It's not going to motivate you. It doesn't work that way for the NBA either. So I agree that old school coaching is not a bunch of Bobby Knights out there. It's not going to work like that.
No.
And that's why Phil Jackson's a Zen master. Like, like that's what it's all about.
I mean, you gotta know your people, and you got to deal with them and have those kinds of relationships. That's where I think Taylor Jenkins is really good for the Grizzlies, even though like some of the in-game stuff, I mean, there are a few things that coaches will do. Obviously, your challenges are something that you can control, rotations, who plays when, all that stuff matters. But as long as you don't screw that stuff up too bad, if you're creating an environment for guys to be at their best, then that's more important than anything else, as far as I'm concerned. Like that's the most important part of it is if guys want to perform at their best in the environment that you're helping to create, that's what it is. And until you get to the very this level where you're at the conference finals and coaching decisions really do matter strategically, the Grizzlies aren't there yet. So right now, what Taylor Jenkins is being asked to do is perfect.
Right. I mean, you look at all the coaches that win, like in this league, like just look at the talent they have in their I'm pretty sure Steve Nash's lack of experience as head coach didn't matter at all this season. Like Steve Kerr at the Warriors, like who doesn't care? And it's like I don't know. That's just the whole experience thing. Like that's part of why like the league like coaching ranks isn't as diverse as it is because people are going to like go with the experience hired coaches. Well, who was hired before? Who keeps getting recycled?
Mm-hmm.
Like who's really getting these opportunities? So, props to the Celtics for adding a new coach and giving him an opportunity. Without
doubt. And you know what? At least he's not Jason Kidd.
For sure.
So that's one thing that you can.
Why is everyone hating on Jason Kidd? I
mean, for a lot of reasons.
He needs it.
Why?
Number one, he is not a very good coach. Number two, he's had spousal abuse concerns, and he's basically a convicted abuser. That's a problem. DUI, his last job, manipulative, etc. I mean, do need we go any further?
Okay.
That's why. If you're asking me, that's why I'm hating on him. I don't. He's not. It ain't like he's a great coach either. He's not. He's under 500 as a record. He has not done anything notable with any of the teams that he's coached thus far. The Bucks got significantly better when he left. They were a 60-win team the year after he left. So I don't know why you're going. If you're Dallas, I don't know why you're an organization that's already had trouble with women and employees and talking about how it's a terrible workplace for women, and then you hire a coach, the face of the franchise, is a guy that has been convicted of spousal abuse. That's probably not a real good message to send to the female employees, in my opinion.
Don't you like how Peter breaks stuff down?
Jason Kidd the player.
I mean, Jason Kidd the player. I mean, phenomenal player, but I mean, there's lots of players who are phenomenal players and who aren't good coaches. They're two different skill sets altogether. Not every player can coach. Just ask Clyde Drexler, see what happened at the University of Houston. How'd that go? Not every coach could play at a high level. That's okay too. Greg Popovich, phenomenal coach. He played like Division III or something. Like he wasn't a high level player. Rick Carlisle. We talked about him. He's won championships. He wasn't a high level, super duper high level player. It's just different. It's different. Hit different.
It hit different, Car.
It hit different.
It's different.
Right, Kari? Do you say it? Do you like when people say that stuff? It hit different.
I mean, it's cool. That's part of the lingo. I'm indifferent about it.
Are you indifferent to it hit different?
What about something cold?
Kari cold.
Kari cold.
Cold
You
is
mentioned, Sane, you mentioned yesterday too the death of or the fact that the kids don't know about the Jones. Calling somebody Jones.
Yeah, Lil Jones.
Yeah.
And then a lady today said, "Why you put an S on the end? Like, where you from? Didn't you grow up on S on the end too?
What, Joan?
Like she said, like we didn't say we spelled it Jone. Like no, we spelled it J. We said Jone. It was an S on the end.
I heard both.
Yeah, I've heard both, but I
heard
just
both.
started hearing Joan. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was back then, man. Lil John got me so messed up. Lil John, man. Lil John. Now Jones.
That takes me back to high school.
Oh yeah,
actually.
it was so fun.
That was-
The Jones era, like the Maine era. I mean, Maine was it too, but Jones, yeah, for sure.
with all the hype that Maine has got, Jones really gotten underappreciated.
Well, here's my theory on that. I feel like
No, Carl, sit this one out. What were you
No,
saying?
I want to hear Kari's
go ahead,
theory.
Kari.
I want to hear Kari's theory on this. I'm very excited.
He's gonna say something about John, whatever they be saying. That other word.
because those words are cousins.
No, they're
Like,
not. They're not. No, hang up the phone, Zach. They're not related at all.
No, don't,
How?
no. I think
How
that's
are they, what's so unique about it?
Like what you're saying is like talking about like it was JAWN, right? And what does it mean?
John.
It can mean anything. It's a
Yeah.
placeholder now.
John is like it's like anything. It's like a could be a thing.
Literally anything.
Could be a person. Could be.
No, it ain't the same as Lil Jones though.
It's
So
like
what's different?
it's more like junt to me.
Jones is like a noun, like this.
Junt is it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like that junt over there is this junt. Like that. It could be anything.
Yeah, I know what you're referring to too, Car, but that ain't. No, we don't say that.
I always thought that Jones was more of a colloquial term of like kind of like referring to somebody like as a like a term
Person, yeah.
of, like a person like a term of like a term of endearment or like a reference to somebody that you know.
No, it has nothing to do with a thing. Like you don't call like
Yeah.
a song or Jones.
like to me John is more like junt. Like that junt over there could be a song, that could be
Yeah.
a that could
That's
be a
what I was
Well, I
saying.
like
that could be a
Yeah.
building, that could be a business, that could be a
Mhm.
restaurant, that could be a car, that could like a proper noun. And I wouldn't call a person a junt. I would call.
What we do.
I mean,
Like how many junts you got on your team?
I wouldn't do that. That's me personally. You can do what you want, but
Stout junt. Come on, Peter.
hey,
Don't
well,
act like
Stout
you ain't
Junt.
come
No,
in.
that's,
Stout,
I
come
forgot
on,
about, I
Pete.
forgot about Stout Junt. That's true. That's a good point. Stout Junt.
Don't act too brand new.
Now
man.
Stout Junt that's different. I feel like that's its own thing.
Yeah.
I feel like that's its own phrase right there.
Car, you like stout junts?
I don't know what you're talking about. I ain't even going for
Yes,
that.
you do. Yes,
Shake-
you
you
do.
like shake junt,
Yes,
you be in the
do.
shake junt,
Yes,
though.
you do. Yes, you do.
I ain't been a member long enough to know what that stuff is, man.
Man, I gotta put you on game, man.
Come on, man.
Put me on game, dog.
Come on. You could use context clues, Kari. Jeez, Louise. I gotta explain everything to you.
Can't hold your hand out here, man.
Use those context clues. Figure that out, man. Stout Junt's just the great grandfather of what? Thoughts? Like you very similar?
Nah, you can be a thought and not be a stout junt. You can just be.
Well, that's now. See, now I like this conversation that we're having. This is very good. This is important.
I hate I can't see the text right now.
Etymology of these terms. It's very important. People got to understand this stuff. Words matter. Words matter. Kari, get with the program.
All
right?
words matter.
All words.
Oh, all right, Kari. I look forward to it. I'll be honest with you. I know you've been doing a lot of work, and I want to shout out the Metro Lacrosse, all Metro Lacrosse teams that are out there. The all Metro baseball team, the boys soccer team, the swim team, all that stuff. You've been doing a lot. You've been doing a lot of hard work out there, Kari. Congratulations. Keep doing your thing.
Appreciate that. Keep an eye out for the commercial appeal Dandy Dozen, top 12 senior football prospects in the area.
Yep.
Coming soon.
Shout out to Serena Lee as well of Whitehaven, committing to the University of Memphis women's basketball team.
First commit for Coach Merriweather.
There you go. Give me a quick scouting report on her before we go.
She's a 6'1" guard. Very tall, very long. She scored 18 points a game for Whitehaven. She rebounds well for her size. Very good defender. She was pretty much a high major prospect as far as women's basketball goes. She had a bunch of SEC offers, so this was a very big get for Memphis to keep her home. I haven't seen her since the 2020 state tournament because, as you know, Shelby County Schools didn't play sports in 2021. So haven't seen her in a minute, but she was very clearly one of the best players at the highest public school level 2 years ago. So she should tear it up this year.
Very nice. Congratulations and good news. Good news for the University of Memphis women's basketball team. Thank you, Kari.
All right, my boy.
All right. Thank you.
All right, he's Kari Thompson joining us at _Kari Thompson on the Twitter. When we come back, we're going to look at the draft combine numbers and take a look at some things that have been going on because definitely some interesting results that we've seen so far. We'll do that when we continue. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1.
Listen online anywhere, anytime at sports56whbq.com.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at triumphautosales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. You've heard me talk about how we offer the best products, the best warranties, and the best services for years. Now let's talk about pricing. Pricing should never be the only reason you hire a contractor, but in today's world, pricing is always a consideration. So we suggest you get 2 or 3 estimates for your roof replacement from a reputable, licensed, and insured company, and then give us a call. If we can't beat your best price for a comparable roof system by more than $100, we'll give you $100. It's that simple. We are so sure we can offer you the best price, beating all other qualified companies, we will hand you $100 if we can't, and thank you for the opportunity. So give us a call. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Make $100? Fiveash Roof Services, a proud supporter of Tiger Athletics and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Fiveash Roof Services, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Need to sell your home? You're in luck because I buy houses. All you have to do is call Bill at 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pin, 901-406-1101, or just save it in your phone. Bill at I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses buys houses in any area, in any condition, at any time, as simple as that. I Buy Houses is guaranteed to close in 5 days. So if you need your cash fast, just call Bill at I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. Has your house been on the market? Were you just tired of renters? Or is it just time to start over? Well, avoid repairing, cleaning, painting, and prepping your house. Just pick up the phone and call Bill at 901-406-1101. That's Bill at I Buy Houses. If you're in Southwind, South Memphis, North Mississippi, North Memphis, Collierville, if you can hear this, just call my friend Bill at I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101.
Get more out of summer with savings on appliances to simplify and streamline during the Home Depot's 4th of July savings in-store and online. Right now, you'll save a bundle on top appliances like the Visani Top Mount Refrigerator for just $3.99. Celebrate summer with a kitchen upgrade during 4th of July savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. U.S. only, while supplies last. Free delivery on purchases of $396 or more. Valid through July 14th.
It's finally time to get out of the house. So make sure you stop by Family Leisure with great prices on in-stock and incoming products. Keep the kids active with play gyms, in stock, ready for delivery. And by the way, installation from the pros, I always recommend that. Markdowns on remaining game room products and those beautiful massage chairs. And the hot tubs, they're going fast. Get out of the house and get to Family Leisure. Wooden Road and I-40, where family and fun come together.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sane. This hour of Sports 56 Mornings is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Here once again are Pete and Sane.
I call my baby up on the telephone. I got connected
Come on.
to a freaky phone.
Got connected to a freaky phone.
The conversation is strictly for you. Said if you don't join the party, you're boy.
Come on now. This is called Midnight Star right here, operator. You know that.
Yeah, I don't know about that. You stop playing like you know about it.
Come on. I hope you're ready. We're going to operate your love tonight. Come on now. Operator. Operator. Come on. Come on now.
So good to have you here and
on the
proper
beat.
time.
I know it. Operator. I have to remind people that I can do that, because they don't know. They don't know. But I like to go ahead and remind them of that. Welcome back. Hour number 3, presented by Acura of Memphis, is here, just around the corner from us, 385 in Ridgeway. That's where you'll find Acura of Memphis. You don't have to call the operator. Just go and see them. They are right there for you. Of course, they can do everything via video if you want to do it that way. No problem. They got you taken care of in the 2022 MDX. I just need you to go and see it. I need you to go and see it. I need you to go and be part of it. I need you to go get inside. Just kind of look around. You can take that test drive, examine, feel, touch. You'll love it. It's terrific. Check it out. It is Acura of Memphis and that brand new MDX. You're going to absolutely love it. All right. So the draft combine. Now you have been watching this closely. Mm-hmm. You've been right there in the mix throughout all of this discussion. What have you seen? What have you seen that has opened your eyes? Have you seen anything that over the last couple of days? Any measurements? Any
yes.
Any highlights? Any things that have popped you?
Since yesterday, I'm much more on the Zaire Williams. I got off of it for a little bit yesterday. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I'm back on the Zaire Williams train.
Okay. All right.
Saw an interview. He's a lot. When I was watching his highlights, I was like, "Oh, this dude's probably a goofball. This is Deontay Davis. You know what I mean? This is like some flighty kid who's got all the tools, but it's probably scatterbrained." I sat in and watched the interview, and this kid, it was like, what? I was like it didn't make any sense at all, man. Like, he was extremely intelligent. He seemed to have a very high IQ for the game.
I mean, the guy goes to Stanford.
You're right. I didn't think about those type of things. I didn't think about that, in the moment. You know what I mean? But I was like, yeah, that dude is – this guy is – he seems to be moldable. That's what I got. Was he's a moldable kid. If you get him in a program, you get him around the right, development people to get him the skills he needs. He could be – I can see him very well being very moldable, pliable, a guy that they really could do something with. He seems like he's willing to learn, willing to listen, and I can see it. I was really impressed by his interview. It was like a 30-minute thing, and I watched like the entire thing. Another one that I'm impressed with is my boy Jay Gupp himself, Josh Christopher. He looked well in the scrimmages yesterday. He couldn't get his outside shot going. But something he was criticized a lot is that he shot the ball from the perimeter too much, and he didn't use his slashing game as much as he was, which was his calling card in high school. He was much more assertive with the ball yesterday. Looked good. Those are my guys, man. I'm also big on Duarte. I like him as well. I got a feeling that it's inevitable. Duarte is a Grizzly almost.
He does kind of have that,
it feels
that feeling.
Yeah.
It does kind of feel that way. I don't know.
He's an analytic wonder.
But I feel like you don't. I don't know. I feel like you don't take him at 17. Like he feels like you could get him later.
Yeah, because I've seen him anywhere from 14, 15 down to 30 almost. So, but any one of those three guys, I'd be I love it, and I think guys like Christopher and Williams, not Christopher Williams, but those I think guys like those two, they could rise up. You know what I mean? So we'll see how those guys start to go because they those are my guys right now. I want a wing. I want a guy who can knock down shots, who can, and I really want to swing high. I wouldn't mind Duarte. We came away with a guy like Duarte. It was pretty much a polished product. I'd be fine, but I'd rather take a big swing with a guy like Christopher or Williams.
Okay, so let me ask you this. This is something to and also just kind of put a pin in this for next week because we're gonna talk a bit about this next week as well. So I don't want this is not going to be the be all end all of this discussion, but it's kind of an entry point. You were talking about the Zaire Williams. His numbers are not very good. Like he's 37% shooting, 29% from three. He's got good measurables.
Did you watch him watching his videos and cringing at the stuff he was doing?
Yeah.
Like had bothered him that he was making those type of mistakes.
Yeah, I mean it was so. I mean like, but I'm just saying like so look at those numbers right there. Okay, and you look at some other kids who have like extremely good numbers, who are very productive in college, and my question is, when you're evaluating prospects. When you're thinking about the fit and you're thinking about where they're gonna, what kind of NBA player they're gonna be, what are the things that you look for? Because it can't just be about pure numbers. The numbers are dependent upon your teammates, dependent upon your system, dependent upon your coach,
right? Dependent
upon in Zaire Williams' case, his team basically because of the nature of California's response to COVID. They were living out of a hotel for the entire season. He missed a month. There's no way you could take his numbers and just say that's a fair reflection of him as a player. But I'm asking you, what are the things that you look for? Even maybe within some of the numbers, maybe some of the other stuff. Do you have a particular thing that you like to see?
Well, I'll say this: it's something that has nothing to do with numbers. Interviews matter to me, and I know they matter to the Grizzlies. You know what I mean? Those type of things. How coachable is this kid? How good does he want to be? Does he think he's arrived already? Those type of things matter to me, man. Like I said, I was super impressed by his interview yesterday. The other things that matter is, like I said the other day, how good did he look in high school matters to me. Because just being honest, a lot of college basketball coaches do not know how to coach pro level players. Maybe I'm absolutely wrong with that, but I always assume that most college coaches don't know what to do with these kids at all. So I go back to how he looked in high school. I go to how he looked in games playing against other high-level players, whether it be AAU, high school, whatever it is. How they look in catch and shoot situations. Another thing I look at is how they look in situations where they're not being the man, if that makes any sense. Like how do they look in situations where they have to defer or where they're playing off the ball, because that's what's going to happen to them in college or whatever. I mean, in the NBA or whatever. So, a lot of those different factors matter. What do you do?
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's different for everybody, but I'm with you as far as I think interviews do. Personality matters. I think one of the things that you have to figure out early on in the process of drafting is that it's not. Some of it a team's success and a team's or an evaluator's consistent success is not necessarily about finding the best overall player. It's about finding the best overall fit. And if you continue to find players who have your best fit, they're going to end up being some of the best players. That was the situation with San Antonio for all those years, is they identified what is a quote unquote Spurs player. Yep. They said, hey, this is the kind of guy we like. He has this level of intelligence. He has this level of versatility. We don't really care about some of this other stuff, athletic, whatever. We'll make all that work. But if he has this, we can work with him. And so, sure enough, year after year, they end up drafting, guys in the second round. Like, wow, how do they keep finding all these guys? Well, they're not so much finding those guys as they are finding guys that could potentially turn into this, and they're making them into those guys. So, a lot of it is there's so many alternate universes where a guy like Darko back in the day, who was considered one of the biggest busts, is drafted by a different team that wasn't a veteran-laden Pistons team, and instead he goes to a different squad, and all of a sudden he's a much different player. Or some of these other guys end up at different places and become great players. It's just a lot of it is fit based. So I'm a believer in what the Grizzlies are doing right now. I think that's the thing that makes me most excited is that they seem to have a big premium on basketball IQ, on guys that are versatile and intelligent, and then they kind of work out the rest. Like they don't mind taking the Desmond Bane, and some teams might have said, "Nah, we can't because he's too he's not long enough." Whatever.
Look at those arms.
Brandon Clark, look at those arms. He's an older player. Look at these, and they say, "No, we like this guy, and we like the makeup, and we're going to go ahead and take him." Like that's the kind of stuff that I like when it comes to a draft is to find whatever your thing is that you're looking for, and to maximize it. And so, there are certain players who fit that criteria. I think the measurables as well. I look a lot at free throw percentage. I don't care so much about 3-point percentage because 3-point percentage can be pretty variable, and you're still dealing with a lot of really
it's a totally different shot in the NBA anyway.
Well, it's just it's a really small sample size too. Like I mean, you're talking about just a few dozen shots, 100, 150 shots for some of these guys. That's a half a season in the NBA, if that. So you got there's it's got to be more than that. But a free throw shooter. Like there's a kid who played for Wisconsin, Joe Wieskamp, he's like 44% from three, but he shoots 67% from the foul line this year. Well, that's a big red flag to me. Like, I don't know that stroke is
sustainable. Yeah,
is sustainable. But if a guy's shooting like 32% from three, but he's shooting like 85% from the foul line, okay, well then I'm not so worried. Like I'm fine. I think he'll figure it out. That's one thing. I don't look so much at 3-point percentage because I think that's kind of. I don't know. To me, it's kind of pointless. I also like to look at steal rate and block rate. Steal rate, especially for a guy, because that to me is an analog for the activity level on the court. Not so much like, I just like to see in college, especially guys who do stuff will make plays, will get deflections, you'll get steals, you'll make things happen. And so I want to see is a guy able to do that? Is a guy going to be willing, and is he able to actually do that stuff? That's the important thing. To me. So I look at that stuff. I think pure numbers, pure rebounds, pure points, you're not going to learn that much from that stuff because there's a lot of guys that could put up those. I mean, think like John Morant's a good example. Like, okay, people are talking about the level of opposition at Murray State. And that's true. Like, you didn't play like high-level dudes. But you could watch the games that he played against Florida State and Marquette and guys that were, higher-level teams, and Alabama. He played against, guys that were pros, and you could watch and see what he did. And it wasn't necessarily about the points specifically. It was about just, okay, look at this guy against this level of opposition. He can play. And then you see other dudes who go up against that level of opposition and they don't really show out. Okay, well that's you got to file that away too. It's an inexact science, man. But I do think you have to have like a plan. Like you can't just draft the best player, the most you have to have a plan for how you're going to develop this player, or else it's going to be pointless. Or else it's going to be pointless. I don't care who you draft.
Yeah, because we've seen teams in the past who just let's go get the most athletic kid and then you're the knucklehead Clippers. And when I say knucklehead, I mean the Quentin Richardson, Darius Miles when they did the forehead thing. It's an art to it, and you have to find a guy who fits into what you're trying to do. And the Grizzlies have done pretty well with that. Well, exceptionally well when you really think about it. How, like, we joke about, the trippiness and, all these type of things. And it's like, but they've also created a culture while doing it. You know what I mean? Like, they're all kids who, might color their hair or, whatever, or, get in the studio, but
right.
But it works. You know what I mean? So there's something that that's something you've kind of come to expect, but it's an art to it, and I just hope that they can hit again because at that 17 spot, you can find a lot of guys. So there's going to be a lot of talent there. There's a lot of talent there. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
And it is like we do joke about that stuff, but it is kind of interesting. It's not entirely joking. Like you definitely have to have you have to be professional. Like these players, I remember stories about Tony Roten when the Grizzlies drafted him, and he didn't even know how he had to send his dad to call some of the Grizzlies people to go get him some boxer shorts because he didn't know where to go to get boxer shorts in Memphis. He's sitting there like in a hotel room, and everyone's like, "What in the world? Like, how is this guy like? Like you're like an adult. Like you can't figure out some of like that's kind of like okay, we got like a little bit of either a maturity issue or like a attitude issue or something.
Yep.
Something's going on with. And a lot of players are like that. A lot of players just have they're just not ready for the kind of the expectation. Look what happened to Tony Roden again.
Right.
It wasn't a lack of talent. The dude was 6'5" and super long and all that. It was about mentally, what are you ready to be a pro? Are you ready to be?
Right.
And he wasn't ready.
And I heard stories about Jordan Adams too, saying that when they sent him to the G League, he had this attitude like, "Nah, I ain't supposed to be here. I ain't supposed to be." You know what I mean?
Yep.
And he had to get pulled to the side about it. I mean, it's like those things matter. It's not just a talent thing. You have to find guys that fit what you're trying to do. Like that's why I say those interviews matter so much, man. Because there are certain things you can't fake even in an interview. You know what I mean? So I'm down, man. I'm really paying attention to this, going forward. I've named the type of guy I want and certain guys that kind of fit the criteria. But I just think it's so many guys that could be available at 17 that can come in and help, or it could be a star level player in potential. So we'll see.
Some very interesting guys. It's very intriguing. One of the more interesting drafts just from top to bottom. There's a lot of interesting good guys. Some drafts are just not that interesting after the top few. This one is.
Yep.
And you're seeing it for sure. When we come back, we'll wrap things up here on this Friday edition of Sports 56 Mornings, live and local from the Family Leisure Studios in an hour presented by Acura Memphis. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1.
Same great shows.
We welcome you back to Sports 56 Middays.
What's up? It's Sports 56 Happy Hour.
A new spot on the FM dial. Check out Sports 56 on our new FM home at 98.5.
Looking for a high-efficiency planting solution? The Case IH 2150 Early Riser Planter combines the industry's most accurate planter technologies with a rugged row unit for fast and uniform emergence. The Case IH 2150 Early Riser operates at your speed and adapts to unique field conditions so that you can maximize your yield potential. Stop in or call Mid-South Ag Equipment at 662-890-3141 to learn more. That's Mid-South Ag, your Case IH Equipment headquarters.
Ask Sherwin-Williams and get your color your way. We've made it easier than ever to try and buy color. Preview paint colors in your home with our Color Snap app. Then visit swsamples.com to have color chips delivered to your door for free. Or order some peel and stick samples to try on your wall. When you're ready to paint, shop online or stop by your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store and get everything you need.
Hey Mid-South, we're ready to wow you at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike with the Enjoy Your Summer in Style sales event, and there's no better road trip than in a new ride. Get 40 MPG Highway with 2021 Mitsubishi Mirage G4, $14,735 or $189 a month. Need a little extra room? 7-passenger 2020 Outlander with Tri-Zone Climate Control, $349 a month. Plus 2022 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, $25,975 or $299 a month. All powered by a stellar 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So get to Gossett Mitsubishi today, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 500 military rebate, G4 stock number MHF 06284, MSRP 17735, Outlander NZO 11927, MSRP 30540, Cross NZ 004494, MSRP 27725, includes all manufacturer rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax, title, and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 6/30/21. Dealer stock only.
Hi, I'm Tito Beveridge, founder and master distiller at Tito's Handmade Vodka. In 1997, I started the first micro distillery in the state of Texas with my dog, Dog Joe, at my side. We're still working with dogs out at the distillery after all these years. Learn more about how dogs are a part of life here at Tito's Handmade Vodka at vodkafordogpeople.com. Tito's Handmade Vodka is made from corn and naturally gluten-free. Cheers. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. Tito'sVodka.com.
If you're going on vacation, making a college campus visit, or if business takes you out of town, there's just no better place to board your dog than Barks and Recreation, 965 Ruddock Cove between Bud Davis Cadillac and the Blue Plate Cafe in East Memphis. Boarding, daycare, grooming, we have the best of everything at Barks. Indoor-outdoor kennels so your family member can go in and out as they please. Indoor and outdoor play areas. 4 walks a day, group play, and individual attention from the best staff in the Mid-South, which includes an overnight staff to ensure the safety and comfort of your pet 24 hours a day. All reasons to choose Barks and Recreation above all other boarding and daycare facilities. BarksDaycare.com or 509-0909. Check us out and make your reservations now at BarksDaycare.com. If your dog could speak, he'd say Barks.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Yeah. Kind of disco-y. One of these.
Peter, I wanted to wait
on.
until 10 o'clock to drop my latest shirt to Asylum Tees 901.
But you couldn't do it.
I figured I needed, give you some radio shout out as we end the show today.
Okay. What you tell everybody about it.
Check it out, man. It's already out. It's available on Asylum Tees 901. It's the We Grind shirt. It's an ode to the first shirt I ever attempted to make about 7-8 years ago. But that I never came out with. I put it out on Facebook to see what people thought about it, and looking back, it was ugly as hell.
So you decided to make it now?
Yeah, I did a 2021 version.
You didn't make it ugly, though, right?
Nah, it's not ugly.
Okay, all right, good.
I think it's pretty dope, actually.
Okay, all right.
So check it out. All of you at the sound of my voice, check it out on AsylumTees901.com. It should be probably the
I see
first
Josh
shirt
already
that
doing
pops
it
up.
over there. It looks like Josh is already checking it
Yeah,
out. Right
check it
there.
out, man.
He's already checking it. He's already a customer. He's a satisfied customer.
Man. Josh had a
two of them. See?
Yeah.
We support black businesses and brothers. Come on now.
There you go.
Oh yeah, appreciate you, Josh. I appreciate that. Man, that Triple Grizz Mafia shirt you had on yesterday looked sweet too, man. Like I ain't gonna lie, it looked really good in person. I was doing DoorDash the other day and had a double entendre that happened.
Oh, okay.
Had a guy who listened to the show and had a shirt on. He bought a shirt and you
DoorDashed for him.
And I DoorDashed.
That's
for him.
incredible.
Like triple
That's the
entendre.
Anthony saying triple threat.
Yeah, that's a triple threat right there, man. Buy a shirt.
I hope he gave you a good tip.
Yeah, he did. He gave me a cash tip and he gave me
Look at that.
a tip in the app. Look at that.
Look at that. Look at God.
Yeah, come on now. But God. God's plan.
That's man cold. All right. So we got to get out of here. You're right. Coming up next middays, Greg and Eli are over at the Villages, right there off of Cherry, not too far away from Harding Academy, the Dixon, all that area over there. Go see them. They got great food, got great stuff happening. A fun place to go over there, and love Bo and the whole staff over there. Buddy Mom works over there too, and just a terrific spots. Go check it out over at the Villages. It's a terrific place. For you, we got a big week coming up next week. Zach, you're going to be out. Zach, what's on the plan for you next week? What are you going to do? Going to turn on the mic?
There it is.
Okay.
We just gonna meet up with family. We just meet up with family. And
Meet up, like in here? Or are you going somewhere?
No, we're going somewhere.
Parts unknown.
You could say that.
Zach probably taking a nap vacation.
Yeah,
that sounds about nice too.
Stay
in Memphis and sleep all day.
But no,
How many family members?
Probably less than 20.
That's a lot. Is this a family reunion or just a family union?
It's just a family union.
Okay.
Just to get together, man.
I have never gotten together with more than 5 family members, I think, at any one time since I was a kid. I don't think.
Yeah, I have a huge family on both sides. So like next week, this weekend, next weekend, and then the weekend after that, it's just it's gonna be more than it's gonna be about 20 or more, depending on.
Well, I'm gonna be out the last week of next month. So in a month, that's when we're going to do a little vacation thing. So that's what's happening there. But I hope you have fun. I hope you have fun out there. Quick reaction, Anthony saying, have you heard the new Tyler the Creator?
Yes.
What do you think?
I was bumping that John this morning.
What do you make of it?
Tyler's a different breed.
I really like it.
But I haven't listened to the whole thing. I probably got like 5 or 6 tracks in, but I'm stuck on that Lumberjack. You know what I'm saying? So I'm stuck on that Lumberjack right now. But I'll play the whole thing over the weekend for sure.
The one right after that, Hot Wind Blows. Woo.
Yeah.
That thing is.
It's nice, man. I like it.
The Lil Wayne on that
Oh yeah,
is incredible.
That's the drum with Lil Wayne.
Incredible.
And I like the albums where
incredible. He comes in. He comes in like I forgot. Like he just reminded me like how
Wayne still got it.
Yeah.
Wayne Cole. I like the albums that don't have the features on there. That kind of make you want to listen to the whole thing to see what hidden features are going to pop out. You know what I mean? Yeah, I like that whole vibe.
I like the way he does. I mean, he's a different dude, but I like the way the production is always unique and yeah, like he got a different way of approaching it. I like it though. I like it. I don't always like everything he's done, but I always respect
Tyler Cole.
I respect his artistic endeavor. You know, he usually doesn't stay still.
No.
A lot of guys just are pretty content to just do the same thing over and over again. And he usually does something different every time.
I closed my laptop forgot this is the one that the Zoom is in.
Whoops.
I forgot I have to use my personal laptop for the Zoom.
Whoops-a-daisy. And he's out.
Grand opening, grand closing.
That's it. All right, everybody, have yourself a great, safe weekend. We will talk to you on Monday. Zach, we'll talk to you next Monday. Have fun with your family. Coming up next, Middays.